welcome to another ZRL league race. We're at Hungaroring today. It's week 5, and qualifying went pretty well. I qualified P8, and could have done much better. Probably could have made it all the way up to P5, but I was caught behind a little bit of a slower driver, which cost me maybe close to 5/10 on my what should have been my best lap. Anyway, here we go.
Still there.
So as always, the goal in lap 1 is to just get around the track as clean as possible. And
on your right.
Once again, I'm probably too tentative into the first couple corners, so I end up losing 2 positions here.
Still there.
And I was pretty darn sure I could get them back going up the inside, but
green flag, all clear.
I definitely lost the game of chicken there.
Okay, let's find a good
which is all good.
Places.
I'd rather have no damage and down 2 positions than battling too hard and, you know, basically have your race ruined already. So being that I had qualified below where I felt I should have, and these 2 guys getting by me, I was fairly confident that I should be able to move forward in this one. And yeah, you'll see pretty early on that I have the pace to move up. It's just a matter of moving up, and this track is extremely tough to pass on. Each corner it doesn't exactly lend itself to the next corner very well. So if you have what I'm saying is on a corner that you can pass on, normally the next corner does not, there isn't a long straightaway after the next corner, and then the next corner goes the opposite direction. So if you have the inside on one, you're going to have the outside on the other, and it kind of ends up being a stalemate for most of the lap. You have to be significantly faster than your opponent to get a pass done around here. So races around here tend to be kind of like a little bit of a procession. I really love this track to drive. I actually do like racing around here too, but it can get a little frustrating. And if I remember right, it is a day later that as I'm recording this voiceover. It's a relatively uneventful race, so I'll spoil this already. No spins. No spins from me this race, so that's 2 in a row. So yeah, I definitely have started to come to grips with the new update. So much so that I don't think I'll have to even think about it too much anymore. So now it's just a matter of getting some pace back, which I also think I'm making pretty quick progress on that now again. I feel like I'm pretty close to where I should be, based to my against my competition here. So the goal coming in here was to get a top 10. I haven't got a top 10 in this yet, and I really want one. So starting 8th, losing 2s. Actually, I think I might have lost 3. I think I slipped down to 11th.
Okay, Justin, there are chances here. Let's make sure we can take
you guys will have seen, and obviously I caught somebody going into the pits there, so. I imagine the voiceover here is going to be pretty sparse. As I mentioned before, I don't think a lot went on, so there's not really a lot to talk about here. I will give a good shout out to Shim, who finished 5th again. So he is holding steady up there, fighting for the a podium spot in the championships for the GT4s. So well done, sir. Woo.
There's a car exiting the pits, heads up. Good luck, that's your quickest today.
Oh, I saw a little contact up in front of me. Oh, I do remember that now, yes.
Car right. Stay right.
Okay, mate, we really think you should pass this car.
You think so, Jim? Easier said than done, buddy. So I do remember this now. That Lexus had made a mistake or was involved in something that dropped him back off the lead pack a little bit. And I don't know if he's carrying a bit of damage or what, but he was a bit slow, and being so tough to pass, he seems to have kind of held both of us up. And we were pretty much attached to the front snake, if you will, before all this happened. And if you got a long enough shot from the helicopter cam here, you'll see now that there's quite a big gap, or you can look at the track map. There's not quite a big gap between the three of us here and the lead pack. And that's just due to the fact that, as I said earlier, that it's extremely difficult to actually get an overtake done around here. So if you become detached,
The gap in front has increased. It's now about 0.8.
you know, it's a little bit tough. I will mention too that in my experience at least, mid-engine cars like the Ferrari have well, this chicane is tough in the Ferrari. Every time you go through that, it's a little bit of a random. You're not quite sure how the car is going to react. I mean, it's not, doesn't feel like you're going to spin out and stuff all the time, but you'll lose 2/10 or gain 2/10, and you're not quite sure why. But I am starting to fall off these guys a little bit, and I don't know if because it's my tire wear and stuff, but regardless, as I was saying, the mid-engine cars on some of these long swooping corners like this one and the next one, even though they're relatively slow speed, mid-engine cars just don't like touching that inside curb. And I don't know if that's the same because I haven't driven a lot of front-engine cars, but I'm not sure if the front-engine cars can actually get on those inner curbs and not have the car get kind of put out of balance and put into a slide. But you really got to be careful in these mid-engine cars. As you can see, I'm just slowly fading away from these guys as if somehow my my pace is just evaporated. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. just making little mistakes here and there that are costing me, I'm pretty sure. So I do remember that as soon as the track opens up in front of me, I put in significantly my fastest lap of the race.
Damn it.
And then I think I do one or two more that are quite similar, so. Not sure why I was falling off these guys. Not that it matters. It's not like I'm miles away.
E9.
And somebody said in the Discord prior to the race that they felt the back markers were going to play a significant role in this
Coming up on a
race, and
slower class
I
car.
agree. He was right. They definitely did. If you catch the GT4s in the wrong spot, you're going to lose several seconds.
Okay, Justin,
On the
there's a
lap,
car
so-
exiting the
I mean,
pits, heads
the
up.
good news is it's going to
Gaining
happen to all the
gaps
GT3
now,
drivers at some
1.6.
point. Some more than others, though, unfortunately.
Car right. Clear right.
And this is a situation where the two guys managed to get by this GT4 on the straightaway, and I couldn't, so I get held up a little bit. Oh, I do remember that. I was a little bit annoyed. Maybe even a lot annoyed at this driver.
On your right. Clear right.
But you can just see how much time I've lost to the guys in front now. Damn it. Oh yeah, I also do remember now, later in the race, I used a couple of my off-track warnings just to run wide and make a pass on, not make a pass, but I go in deep into some corners, passing a GT4, pardon me,
P8.
and just to make sure that I don't compromise his race at all, I run wide on exit a little bit. A couple of times on purpose, a couple of times not on purpose, but yeah, you get 3 warnings. Your 4th one is a drive-through penalty, so up until that point I hadn't had one yet, I don't think, so I didn't mind collecting a couple of them just to have an easier pass on the GT4s or make it less stressful on both of us.
Alright, Justin, you're gaining on this car. The gap is 1.2 seconds.
As I kind of alluded to before, I have really sorted out my issues that I've been having with spinning the car and stuff. And the pace is a little lacking. I can get a pretty quick lap now. I'm getting back to close to where I was on a 1 lap basis, but the pace is a little bit all over the place. So here we go. I was thinking about pitting, but I was also, another strategy that I was playing around with in my head was just wait until I catch the GT4s,
V5.
pit,
Yeah, maybe I
do a
should've
couple
pit,
laps,
I don't
catch
know.
them again, pit. That way I would only have to go through the field once or twice, or at least minimize how many times I had to go through GT4s. So that was my goal, but as I'm looking at the map, I remember realizing, okay, we're not going to catch them quick enough. for that to be a viable plan. So, but I believe this will be my fastest lap of the race. If not, it's very close to it, and I don't really get close until the end of the race again. But I mean, it's, if I remember right, and of course, you'll be able to see on my Delta. I can't see that right now as I'm recording this, but I think it's close to 5/10. It's around there, something like that, by the end. So I'm not sure if that was dirty air causing me to slide back, because I wasn't quite close enough to them to get the benefit, enough of the benefit of the tow, or what?
The car ahead's pitting now. You're pulling away from the guy behind. The gap's now 8.5 seconds. P2, that's your best lap in this session.
If that last lap wasn't my fastest, then it was this one. I don't remember if it was immediately or one lap later, after the track opened up for me. But I was considering the pit, and then I was considering my alternate strategy, and then after putting this fast lap in, I was just decided, okay, until the lap times drop off, I'm just staying
Sector
out.
3 is yellow.
Take advantage of the situation I am on the track, and pit once I start getting held up a little bit, or if the tires completely fade,
6 seconds.
which does happen pretty quick on this track. It's pretty, you can imagine, you're taking all these kind of medium speed corners. I can do one more before I catch the GT4s, and it puts a lot of strain on the tires. You do end up sliding around pretty good in short order. Maybe I just go in now. One more.
That was 146.12. Up on a slower car.
All right. So in for the first pit, and
ahead is now 10 seconds. Okay, Okay, Justin, there's a car exiting the pits. Heads up. Watch your speed.
Okay. Can't remember if I had to adjust the tire pressures or not.
We should be in P7, right ahead
Leading
of
into here, I think I
P8.
did. I remember I did now, and I couldn't. 25-1. I won't be able to remember that, but we'll see. 25-1.
The car behind is pitting.
Anyway, this is. Oh, that's
Oh,
strange.
shit.
There's a car already there. This is
Shit.
by far my biggest mistake of the entire race. And as you can see, that's going to cost me unbelievable. That costs me many seconds. That right there is the entire reason why I don't. Well, let's just say I lose. That's going to cost me what? I don't know, a few positions. We'll check at the end, but that had to be 3-4 seconds that I lost there, at least. So that, I believe, cost me 3 or 4 positions. At least a couple. There's no doubt it was a couple.
There's a car approaching. Stay behind the white line. Blue flag. Okay, Justin, the next car is Reed.
Whoa! I don't exactly remember who's behind me when I come out here, but I'm pretty sure it was Walker. So if I'm wrong, then whatever. But Walker is quite fast, and I was fully prepared to have to. Well, I was going to battle him. I wasn't going to let him by, but I wasn't going to just defend for my life because, you know, not close enough to the end of the race yet to worry about stuff like that, if you ask me. But I was fully prepared to have to take it easy into one corner just to let him go and lose as little time as possible. But it became apparent to me that, you know what, I'm actually holding my own against Walker here. I mean, he's catching me, but not at the rate that I thought he would. And keeping in mind, this is an outlap on cold tires. So I was already starting to go, huh, maybe I should be holding him back.
Boy, I lost a lot of time to Valero there.
And try to back up the guys behind him. That might gain me a position or two come the end of the race.
Okay,
Now, as it turns out, I don't really need to because of I got possibly a little bit lucky, at least more lucky than him, catching the GT4s. So.
The leader, good, is pitting.
That is such a good corner. Oh, I do remember this. Yeah, into the chicane.
Looks like he'll come out just behind you.
This is what I mean. You don't get a long enough straight here, so he gets held up significantly. I mean, he is
The gap to Walker behind is
double,
now
if not
1.3
triple,
seconds.
the amount behind me than he was starting, or before we reached that GT4 car. So every time that happens, that buys me just a little bit extra time where I don't have to battle against him. Or oh yeah, it looks like
Slower
Shim up
fast
ahead.
car ahead.
Oh, and he decided to pit. That's
Good, he's leading the
wise
race.
move by him.
There's a car
I
leading
don't
the
remember
pit
if this
lane.
is where it was, but if this is the place where it was, I give Shim a little flash here. And at the last minute, I decide that this is not a good idea. Basically because of the guy coming out of the pits. So sorry if you got a little panicked or confused there, Shim, but that was my, I didn't notice the Porsche coming out
Right side. Clear
immediately.
right.
To be honest, I was too far back anyways. So I never even should have been
That's
thinking
20
about it.
minutes to go. Yellow flag. Pay attention to track limits. Please just in. Incident clear. Back to green flag. Coming up on a slower class car.
Clear left.
You're reeling. Read in. The gap is 1.9.
Left side. Clear left.
Yellow flag. The incident's clear. Green flag.
I just noticed in the background that Porsche went in again. Interesting.
10th position. That's half fuel. You've used half your fuel.
I wonder if he had a penalty he had to serve or something. I remember being quite pleased with how quickly I was catching these guys in front, and then I was so I was quite optimistic about moving up
Green
places
flag.
again.
Incident clear. Slower class car ahead.
Car left. Hold your line. Hold your line.
That was good
Clear
driving
left.
by that GT4 right there. Yeah, he was in an awkward position, trying to be letting two guys
On your
go
left.
here.
Still
Do I
there.
actually get? Oh yes, I do remember now. This
your
fella
line.
was lapped. I do
Clear
remember. I was getting annoyed after I. Yeah, that's
Sector
right.
3 is 1.3 seconds off the pace. The car behind's pitting now.
There's a big mistake. Just pushing too hard and went deep. Okay.
Next lap it is, buddy. See if I can overtake you here. With an overcut.
Another smart driver
Let's go.
there to
Come on.
go into the pits right there. He was probably
good
going
one.
to get past or at least slowed down into corner one. After me getting this big toe in there. That's good for me to learn. I got to start being a little more strategic with when I take my pits.
15 minutes
Yes,
right,
as like
15
I was
minutes to
saying,
go.
I would have had the
This is
toe.
okay. Keep those exit speeds
And I
up.
would have been close enough to at least have a look into turn one, which would have slowed us both down. And I said it earlier already, but this corner coming up, man, this corner's great.
Why are these pressures all screwed up? What the hell?
Run out of track limits. Keep it between the lines.
Not happy about that, but whatever. You get a couple of them.
What I did there, when I cut that corner, by the way, that was, I would have had to have risked losing control of the car if I was going to try to stay on track. And this is something I don't think enough guys do. By the way, that's a lapped car behind me, right? So I didn't feel like I had to give any time back to him or anything like that. But
Car
yeah,
is pitting.
rather than risk losing control of the car, just admit the
Front is
mistake
now 11
and
seconds.
straighten it out. It's safer for everybody, not just yourself.
Put away. The gap behind
But
is
if I
now
had spun out
14 seconds.
and that guy wasn't
Okay,
able
just
to
expect
avoid
traffic
me,
when you come out.
you know,
On
wrecks
the
his
exit
race
bits,
too.
we should be
So
in position
just eat it,
between
take the penalty,
P16 and Reed.
and move on. Or take the warning, I should say. Yeah, so pit stop
Yeah.
2. Did I learn from my mistakes?
The brake this time.
In the first one. Will I stop in time? Yes, I do. It's actually a pretty good, especially for me, a pretty good pit stop.
Much better.
I don't even think the mechanics had to move the car, the virtual mechanics, that is. So, really good pit stop. I remember now that after seeing the guy the lap ahead dive in, and I was catching him quite a bit, I wanted to see if I could get a good in lap
Come on, is that Valero?
and see if I
want
could come out ahead of him. And I believe the guy we were looking for was Reed. Forgive my memory if I'm wrong, but
There's traffic behind. Take care of rejoining.
I believe
Blue
Walker
flag.
just went by. And I believe that's Reed, so I actually got the overcut to work. So basically his out lap
Got Reed.
coming out of the pits
At least that.
was much slower than my in lap going into the pits. And that's how you get the pass done. Normally an undercut's going to be better. But in this case an overcut was the way to go. I remember wondering if he got held up by some traffic or something, because that's probably a 2-second swing there, right? Because I was, about a second behind him going into that last lap, the lap before I pit, and it looks like I'm about a second ahead, maybe a little bit more. That will emphasize again how many positions I potentially lost with that first pit stop. Oh dear.
B13.
And I can't remember how much action actually
Slow, fast
happens.
car.
If I remember right,
The
Pretty
leader,
much
good,
nothing?
is pitting.
So I might be advancing to the pretty much to the end of the video from here.
Left side. Clear left.
Because I believe the only positions
me a
I'm going to
second or
gain
so.
is if guys are in the pits or if they had crashed out or something, and you don't even really see it. So you don't get to see any
10 minutes to go.
overtakes
That's 10 minutes left.
other than just lapping GT4s. So.
Car left. Still there. Clear left.
You're coming up on a slower car.
Car right. Clear right. On your left. Clear left.
One more lap to go. Yellow flag. Incident clear. Green flag.
Alright, so this must be the last lap of the race because I think I caught a glimpse of Shim up there. And I do remember finishing very close behind Shim, so. Yeah, so all in all, this was a pretty good race for me. Finished one spot below where I was targeting, and realistically, a few spots below where I should have been. But not bad. I'm not complaining. It's just a fact.
P11. Okay. It's
And yeah, gotta say hi to Shim here a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, Shim, come and get me, man.
tiny bit of aero damage. Just
But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, good race. Should have finished a little bit higher up than where I ended up. But with that being said, I mean, if they all go like this, the results are more or less where they should be, regardless. So I'm happy with that one. It's the first one in ZRL that I've been quite happy with. I've had my last race with OOR, which, as I'm recording this right now, my next race is tomorrow at Brands Hatch. 2 races, actually. So that'll be fun. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and hope you enjoyed it. We'll catch you next time.